Mr. Ty Bartell. And hey, here we are, joined by another guest on this jam-packed Thursday edition of Running Point. This time it is Chris Amill, head coach of the Chaney Cowboys. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Coach. A big matchup this week. How's the team feeling this week leading up to Friday night?
Feeling good. Practice has been going good. We're still slowly but surely getting guys back from the game we had to sit out with COVID, and getting some guys back from injury. So still trying to get full strength, but practice has been great. Guys are upbeat and ready to go.
Coach, I think there's no doubt. First off, foremost, I want to congratulate you on this win this last Friday. That Howland team is one that is a very physical team, and I knew going into this that was going to be a matchup of physicality. And you guys came out on top, and a feeling that I kind of felt you guys would, though. But talk to me a little bit about the physicality of this team and what that true toughness and grit means to you, as I feel like it exemplifies the city of Youngstown tremendously.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, that's what Youngstown is. It's a tough blue collar, steel town. The old steel valley, the steel mills, everything that comes with Youngstown. We've made some adjustments. We moved some people around, and we just started to put guys in position that just want to play football. And they may not be linemen, and they may not be receivers or different things, but guys just want to play, and they're going to play hard, and they're going to play physical. And, some of the things we do at practice, and some of our individual stuff is we fight or we roll. Like, you have to make up your mind. Either we're going to fight through double teams and triple teams, different things, or you just got to kind of roll out. We're going to find guys that are willing to fight and do the things needed for the team and not just themselves.
I like that you mentioned the fact that there are guys that just want to play football. They just want to play. How much growth have you seen from guys that are being put in positions that maybe they didn't expect to be put in this year, and being able to accept that and then go and execute to the level that they know they can execute?
The growth has been tremendous. You look at stats from the last two games. We probably have run for 300 yards, coming out of Painesville. We were inside the red zone 3-4 times, penalties, just different things. A big turnover that was returned for a touchdown killed us. But you see the physicality. You see guys coming off the ball. You see holes opening up, and our running backs are just making the right reads, and so is our quarterback. So guys that haven't played there, like I said, the fact that they just want to play football and they're willing to do what it takes to play. You just see a big difference, between some of those guys and guys that, I don't want to say are prima donnas, because they're really not, but you just get some guys that are trying to play for a football scholarship and not necessarily play to win a game and play for their teammates. And now that you're starting to see some of these guys play that are playing for their teammates that want to play, these other guys, they have to step up their game or they're going to miss out. So it's been great. It's been working for us big time.
Talking about those guys and that growth, the one guy I really want to highlight is one of the guys that's going to be up for your Big Dogs of the Valley, for our Big Dogs of the Valley, Bear Brothers Big Dogs of the Valley this year, and Matt Jones. Talk to me a little bit about what you've seen out of him, especially recently, what he's been able to do production-wise on that football field as well as off of it.
Yeah, Matt has grown a lot. You're talking about a young man that's a really good basketball player. So we didn't have Matt for the summer. Matt was traveling and doing the AAU circuit. That's something else that we have to deal with a lot here. So he wasn't there June and July. He didn't scrimmage in either scrimmage because he was in Vegas and different places for these big tournaments. So, even for him going into week 2, he had about 6 plays that he was able to run because he only been at practice for a week. So his playbook was limited. And now you just start to see you're able to put more on his plate. He's starting to play with more confidence. And he's just starting to get that swag to him that, I may make a mistake, because he knows, you're a freshman. This is new. You're going to make mistakes. You got to grow from it. You got to learn, but you got to put it to the side when the play is over. You got to get ready for the next play, so whether it's the wrong read, maybe it's a turnover, but he fights, he competes, he's a great athlete. and it's starting to show in school. I had an assistant principal come over to me and, was just talking about how he was getting on another student for being immature because a student threw some food in the cafeteria. So you just see the maturity starting to take place. And I'm always big on the little things. When the little things start to matter, the big things will fall into place. And it's little things like that. Like, we talk about all the time, this is your school, care about your school, pick up the trash, dude, just little stuff, because then it just starts to matter across the table for everyone. So those little things are mattering in school. He's starting to pick up on the little things at practice, and you just see it all come out, more and more each week with them.
There's been a lot of adversity this year for Chaney football, to say the least. What has been this program's like rallying cry or whatever it may be to kind of fight through the adversity and make sure that every week they are still putting their best foot forward and making sure that people know that Chaney's not going to be put down by some adversity?
Yeah, we just talk about being physical, and we talk about, just a program. There's no one person is bigger than the program, and that's myself included. One thing that I say 10 times a week is there's a program out there for everybody, and Chaney may not be the program for you, and I let my boys know that, and I let coaches know that, because we're not bigger in this program. So, we lose, I would say a top 3 player in the state of Ohio in Hewlett week 1. But guys just got to step up and play. Losing him is huge. But, this is about the program. This is about the team. So while Jason is out, we need somebody else to step up, get ready to play, and keep moving forward. And Drew kind of held it down for us, Andrew Galt, for, a couple weeks. Matt came in and kind of took over, and now he's taking charge. And we moved some linemen around, and we moved some running backs around. And, it's about the program. What are we going to do to make this program better, to move ahead and to get to where we want to be?
And you know what, Coach? I think it's been amazing that through all that adversity, you still sit in a position to where if you win, it looks like you might be able to be in those playoffs in Division III. This is a tough matchup, though, with a Warren Harding team. But I kind of want to rewind a couple weeks ago to that Warren Harding versus Mooney game. And I'm sure it's a game that you looked at and through film and everything. I feel like in that game, there was a lot of things that Mooney did well defensively in that first half. And I believe it was on that physical side. Were there some things you saw Mooney execute well against Harding that maybe exposed them in one way or another? And a second part to that question, what is kind of the game plan without giving away the whole farm, obviously, on trying to contain Dallas Jet for Harding?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I seen anything that Harding was weak on. The thing that stood out to me early with Mooney was, not just them being very physical, but them just making tackles in space. With a team like Harding that is so athletic, at every skill position there is, you have to be able to tackle. I think we'll win our battles up front with our front 4. They've been playing solid all year. But it's those skill guys, and making sure that we tackle those guys in space and just changing things up for them. The quarterback is a tremendous runner. So, of course, we got to contain him. But I just think the more we mix up coverages and disguise things, hopefully that has him hold on to the ball a little longer to let Clive or JR or somebody just get that extra second or two to be able to get to him. So that's really, what we plan on coming in with, just some Chaney football, be physical, tackle well, the basic fundamentals, and just give them a variety of coverages, or, even if the coverages aren't too crazy, but make it look like it's not what he thinks it is.
I like that you mentioned JR, because that's a player that we haven't gotten to talk about in a while, but he, I'm sure, has become a very important key to this team voyaging on and getting through the adversity that we talked about earlier. Talk about his leadership and what he means to this program.
Give him 15 more seconds. Lock your door.
Yes, with
doors need to be locked up. All 3.
1 second. With JR, he's like our hidden gem. He's a guy that does every and anything he's supposed to do on and off the field. He does anything and everything that he can for the football team in the program. He started off at running back. Right now he's playing tackle for us. He asked to move to the line because we were having some issues here and there, and we had some injuries. He's like, Coach, just put me on the line. I'll block. I don't care about running the ball, and this is a guy that, I told him after the win against Howland, he was a warrior all game because JR's our punter. He kicks off for us. He's on our punt return team. He's on our kickoff team. Now he's playing tackle and he's playing defensive end. So JR didn't get any plays off, so he had to play a full complete game with no breaks. And that's that old school football. And he has that old school mentality. And the coach from Tennessee State was, in town, and they offered him a scholarship. So, it just goes to show, what we preach and what we talk about, just take care of the little things, do what you can for the program, and everything else will fall into place. And that's exactly what happened for him.
Quick follow-up. I mean, what's your reaction when a kid that is getting carries and putting his name in the stat sheet comes to you and says, I don't care about that, put me at tackle because we need to block? And that's going to make you just one of those proud moments as a coach.
Absolutely. I mean, because players like that are, it's like you're a coach's dream. Coaching at Mooney for 16 years, you had those guys. You had guys that didn't want to play after high school. They just wanted to play their 4 years in high school with their friends, and you can put them anywhere. And then you come over to, when we first got to the city, everybody was a running back in Pee Wee football. So everybody wants the ball and everybody wants the spotlight and everybody wants to be that guy. And, we had a special team when we were at East, my last year there, because you had that same mentality with guys like, just get us on the field, just let us play. And you're seeing it now, and this senior class is the first class that started at Chaney, so it's just been building. And these guys are really, solidifying that foundation has been set. And, so when they come, like a JR comes and Christian Jones, is playing guard, when those guys come and say, Coach, just put me on the line, or, play me wherever you need me, I just want to win. Like, you just start to see everything that has been poured into these young men and to the program, it's just starting to reap the benefits of it. So, I mean, it feels incredible.
Talking about, we see constantly too, so many different classes. I think of 2010 Chaney football helping you guys out, and there's a strong community sense here, and we constantly see it from your end and from the Cowboys, and how strong this Youngstown community is. In the same sense, in talking about how strong the community is, I want you to highlight that, but also talk to me about this last home game of the regular season at Reign Stadium. It's a win that would be huge for the Cowboys, playoff-wise, but also city-wise. What would this win mean to the Chaney Cowboys, and as well as highlight the community support that you've gotten this season, as well as since you've taken over?
For us as a school, it would mean a lot. I think Warren Harding is a great program. I mean, they're rich in tradition and history, and not saying that we aren't, but being gone for 11 years, you kind of lose that. So just trying to get some of that back and letting some of those games slip away early that we had a chance to win. So to come out and win this game and to pretty much put us in the playoffs, that would be huge and a great stepping stone for this program. As far as the community goes, I mean, I'm an old school kind of guy, where it takes a village. And I think the way the village pours into my boys and this whole program, for them to be able to see the benefits of everything that they've given, and a lot of them have sacrificed, to help out, but just to be able to see the benefits of everything that they sacrifice and given in the time that they've put in, it's not just Coach Chris's Cowboys, made it to the playoffs. It truly is Youngstown Chaney.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Good luck against Warren Harding here and tomorrow night, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thanks. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.